to be finding the area between two curves. This is using integration, and our two curves are going to be x equals y cubed minus y, and x equals 1 minus y to the 4. I won't go through how to graph them because this stuff is from advanced functions or calculus 1. So once you do graph it, you will get something that looks kind of like this. I'm going to use a different color. Kind of like this for the y cubed minus y, and the other function is going to look kind of like this. So this is the 1 minus y to the 4, and you can see this is an inverse. It's like 1 minus x to the 4, but the inverse function. So you can also have to set both equations equal to 0, find their roots, and you will see the intersection points are at -1 and 1 along the y-axis. Okay, so once you do that, you are going to take the integral from the bottom, from the top boundary to the bottom boundary, so from 1 to -1, and you're going to take the rightmost function minus the leftmost. So that's going to be, the rightmost function is going to be 1 minus y to the 4. And then you're going to take the leftmost function, which is y cubed minus y, and you're going to integrate that. So you're just going to simplify this. Once I simplify it, you will get 1 minus y to the 4 minus y cubed plus y dy. And once you're going to take, once you take the antiderivative, it's not with respect to x anymore. So the antiderivative of 1 will not be x, it will be y of y to the 4. So you'll do y to the 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1 over y to the 4 plus 1, which is y to the 5, over 4 plus 1, which is 5. So x to the n, like y to the 4, is x to the n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So like y to the 5 divided by 5. So that's a basic integration rule. And for this one, it would be y to the 3 plus 1, which is 4, over 3 plus 1, which is 4. And then just, this is y to the 1, right? So y to the 1 plus 1, which is 2, over 1 plus 1, which is 2. So you don't have to put dy anymore because this is the integral. Now you just put this line, and we can put from 1 to -1. Now I'm going to bring it up here. You're going to take all of this and evaluate it at 1, and then all of this and evaluate it at -1 and subtract. So when you do that, you're going to get at 1, everywhere there's a y, you're going to sub in a 1. So 1 minus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2 minus, so this is all at, change the color, this is all when y is equal to 1. And now we will evaluate y is -1. So you will have -1 minus -1 to the 5 divided by 5 minus -1 to the 4 over 4 plus 1 over 2. Close bracket. And all of this is when y is equal to -1. So you're going to evaluate that, subtract them, and you will end up at, well, you obviously know how to subtract or just use a calculator. You'll end up with 1.6, which is your answer.